Here's what to do when all your orchid flowers have died off. First thing we want to do is remove the plant from the pot. Carefully get all of these roots out of here. Although if one or two breaks, it's not that big of a deal. But if we can save them, we definitely want to. Unthread, okay, there we go. These orchid pots are fantastic for a lot of airflow around the roots, which these orchids really, really like. But that doesn't mean you have to use them. You can definitely get away with not using them. It's just a nice little extra thing for your orchid. Gives you a little bit more room for error, which is a great thing. All right, now's the time to remove any dead or mushy roots. So you're going in there and you are looking for anything that is papery thin or, like I said, mushy, and you're getting rid of them. Dead. It's always good to do a little bit of root maintenance once you're in on your plants. While you're here anyway, you might as well do it, right? This plant has a lot of healthy orchid roots. Hardly anything is unhealthy at all. So not much more to do here. There's a dead one. There's a dead one. All right. Once all of your dead roots are removed, then we can work on getting this plant into a new pot. So whenever you're selecting a pot for your orchid, you always want to make sure that there's plenty of drainage, which is going to allow for airflow, and also you don't want them to be too large. They should be pretty tight in their pot. I'm using a ceramic pot from repot.me.com, who sponsored this video. They have pretty much everything you would need to repot a plant for orchids, cacti, succulents, tropical plants, your monsteras, your philodendrons, all your aeroids, everything that you need. They have fantastic supplies. Let's get this out of here. Look how nice and pretty. You got all the extra drainage holes around the outside here, which again is also going to improve the airflow around your orchid roots, which is paramount. All right, let's get this baby in there. So this is basically just one pot size larger. We are going from, this looks to be about a 5-inch pot to a 6-inch pot. So not a huge increase in size, so that way we can make sure we have plenty of airflow and plenty of drainage around those roots without suffocating them by putting a ton of medium around their roots. Kind of curl in all the roots that you have going in there. And we actually want this crown to sit kind of high, so it's perfectly fine that it's kind of sitting up like that. Now I'm just going to be using an orchid bark. This is actually cocoa chips for this application. We're just going to be putting them in there. Cocoa chips offer a little bit of moisture retention, but mostly it's just airflow, which again, if I haven't stressed it enough, is very important when it comes to orchids. Slap that pot. Get all those chips settled in around those roots. Very nice, very nice. Getting them in there. Oh yes. Oh yes. Now you want these crowns to sit high because you don't want water to accumulate in the crown. So by keeping them above the soil level, you're making sure that none of that moisture that's hitting the soil is accumulating in the crown and rotting it out and getting crown rot. So that's why we plant the crowns just a little bit above the soil level. And we're almost there. So now this stem is completely gone. So all we need to do is follow it all the way down to where it comes out of the orchid and give it a good healthy clip. There you go. It's completely dead, not coming back. Don't need it. Now, give this plant very bright light. Make sure it can see a wide view of the sky. Let all the orchid bark dry out in between watering. And in the next 4 to 12 months, you're going to have a nice blooming orchid.